Hey, welcome back, everyone. Yes, my trusty little horse, aka Little Red, needs an oil seal on the final drive. It's a shaft drive Artic Cat 300 ATV, two-wheel drive, so we don't have to worry about anything up front. Just this oil seal. I'm not too disappointed. It is exposed to the elements a little bit. I did create a shield for this seal. It's not fully enclosed, so I can monitor it, and stuff like that. So that has helped a lot over the years. Let's see, this is a 2012 model. 2012 Artic Cat. Let's get this oil seal in. The removal process, kind of simple, but you better have the right tools. An air wrench to get that nut off of there. A good set of sockets, probably metric there. It's probably a 27 millimeter. My best guess, a 1 1/16 6-point is what I used to get the hub off. I'll show this going back together, so then you can see the hub, and of course disassembly will just be the reverse of the assembly that you're going to see first. For starters, I just have to basically destroy this old oil seal just by punching in there with a screwdriver and some picks and just simply pulling it out. It's really that simple. And the new one will just tap that in, maybe even using the old seal. Gonna get a good feel for just how far that goes, right? So now I kind of got a good idea of what I'm doing. Obviously, I've blown this with compressed air. Ideally, you'd power wash everything. It's just not that time of the year that I can do that. But I have all this clean enough, and no loose dirt is going to fall into the surgical area, right? So yeah, I'll just take some old cotton rags here, in this case a sock, and just polish that off. I'll probably flush that off with WD-40 again. That's something I really, I'm just amazed at some of the mechanic work I see here on YouTube. It's good work and stuff. They just don't, you clean stuff as you disassemble it, or better yet, before you disassemble it. So yeah, that's what we're doing there. All right, got to get in there with a sharp screwdriver. And that's got to be clean as well. Clean that off. And we are going to go in there and get that oil seal out of there. So just like that, I'm going to have to work that out of there. I'll pause out and make some progress here. Okay, and I've remembered the method of disassembly. You can see the oil running out there. What I did was I basically just pushed inside the seal there, and knocked it loose, and then that's how the seal comes out, just like that. So you just drive right through the seal. You don't want to scratch your metal surfaces or anything. So with basically just sharp screwdrivers, poke right through the sidewall of that seal and knock it sideways, and then that'll come right out. And clean up this oil here and get that in the burn barrel. Okay, and that's all there is to it. It's really that easy. And I keep a number of these seals on hand also, so I can repair this anytime that I need to. That's all looking good there. Got it nice and clean. I'll bring the camera right in here for a real close-up look so you can all see just what's going on. I'm collecting my my oil. Here we are. There. And you can see that that oil seal just slaps right over the axle, and that's how it's going to go in. I'll actually probably use this old one to seat the new one in there. And there you can see the final drive. I do love shaft drive bikes. They're really great. There's no chain maintenance. Yeah, chain is more efficient and all that, but you got lots of expensive parts to replace at least every 10,000 miles or so, you know, when it comes to chain drive. So anyway, enough about that. So yeah, brand new oil seal today. All right. Okay, the next thing to do is to get this seal all smeared up with grease so that it gets right on the surface of that shaft. So I just got my little chainsaw grease gun here. It's what I'm going to use. Thought I was anyway. There. Like that, I guess. Just like that. I get that shaft all full of grease also. Okay. Just a light film is all we need. Just for assembly. Okay, very carefully, we're going to go back on. Remember, that's the inside. That's inside the gearbox side of the seal. That's the outside. So you see the spring that will put the tension on the oil seal lip that just slides around that shaft. There we are. Here we go. Major surgery. Cleanliness required here. All right. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, we're up on the ridge now. Ever so carefully. It's kind of like putting a tire on a rim. You'll want to feel that just kind of glide on there. There, we got it. Ever so nicely. We get it started just with fingertip pressure. Okay. Just press fit that in there. There we go. And you'll just feel, you know, where it needs to go in. Just like seating a tire on a rim. Oops. And keep it clean. There we go. It's going pretty good. Now, like I said, I'll take the old one and I'll go on backwards so that I have a little bit of padding so that I can just tap that in there, right? So I'm gonna go get a very light hammer to do some very light tapping and just seat that in there just a little farther. Okay, just a little bit of a tap. Okay, I gotta go in a little bit there. And I'm probably gonna use this block of wood. See how that goes. Okay, that's starting to get a good feel to it. I want to feel just a little ridge of aluminum case. I just want it in just a little bit farther than the case. Okay. A good little pop there. So you just take your fingertips and go all the way around and just kind of feel it so that it feels even all the way around. So just a little bit of recess into the case. Make sense? Actually, you don't even really need to hammer. You can just use thumb pressure. Get that old seal over the top. I recommend that rather than tapping on it. You know, I didn't hurt anything tapping on it. I'm saying put a little bit of muscle into it, a little bit of fingertip muscle into it, and feel that out. And then that's actually going to work out better for you, okay? I'm liking that a lot. It's definitely far enough. That's seated far enough in there. If we have a catastrophic failure and this starts leaking like in a couple days, we'll try again and we'll know that, hey, we went in too far, but I don't think so. There's probably a little ridge in there that'll keep you from going in there too far. All right. We're definitely on the sealing surface of the shaft, where the shaft runs. The shaft runs in that double-lipped oil seal. It's definitely there. So that's gonna have to do. We're gonna button this back up. Got to figure out what this O-ring is for. I think the O-ring is supposed to go. Everything else from here on out is just like a dust cap. So I don't know if that O-ring is supposed to go there. We'll figure it out somehow. I don't know if it's supposed to go up there. Looks like it might supposed to go there. And then there's just a dust cap. So this would be like where the axle goes inside that housing. They just put a little dust cap on that to keep it from rusting up and stuff like that. Okay. I'll just take some of my old oil and lube that up and get this on. I think like that. I don't know why that O-ring would, maybe I don't even need that O-ring. I'm going to experiment with this. I'm going to pause out and then I'll show you what the right thing to do was. I don't know what that O-ring is for, if we even need it in there. It's not part of the sealing system, I can tell you that. Okay, I figured out, I think the O-ring just goes right over the axle shaft and then goes right on that cap right there. So it doesn't go up over onto the collar. It really wouldn't do any good up there. I think they wanted just a little bit of extra sealing so that water and dirt didn't get where that didn't get to inside that axle shaft area. So that's what that little seal cap is for. Okay, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything to mechanically seal the oil inside the case. That's the big oil seal that we just did, that I seated so carefully. All right, as long as I'm here, everything's out of the way. I'm going to pour in a few ounces of oil that I lost out of this gear case. I'll probably change that sometime in July when it's nice and warm. It's due for an oil change this year, but it'll be fine until then. So I will just do shots of the reassembly, which will be very simple. You'll get to see my fancy little shield that I built for this case as I reassemble. We just got to put the shield back on. That's the skid plate for the final drive gearbox. It did not come with that shield. This was all just wide open, and that's why that seal went out on me right away. So I metal fabrication built a seal for this area right here, and it keeps the brush from touching the seal. It doesn't keep dirt from touching it though, but it works pretty good. That's well over 10 years. That's got to be like, well, this is a 2012 and I did that the first year I had this. So back in 2013 I probably put that oil seal in right away because I picked up a piece of twine or something. So it's been running that long. That's a pretty good run. Pretty easy repair. Let's get her back together, okay? Okay, 3 little bolts to hold the skid plate on. Get right to it. Got that one started. Get this one started. And I got a bottom one. I can probably do that by feel. Got that one started. Okay, I got them started. We'll come in for a close look. Try and save some time here. There's my fancy shield. Okay, you can see I put a little bit of oil in. I just dumped in probably 2 ounces. How full do you need to fill these gearboxes? Well, full enough. Right up above just about a quarter to halfway up the axle shaft. We're definitely there for sure, no question about it. Owner's manual can sometimes be detailed on that, but that's a view of my nice little shield that I built. There's the 3 little bars there that support it, just tacked onto the shield. It really does work well. And being that it's open, I can keep an eye on that sealed throughout the life of this ATV. Just a visual check, just like everything else, you know. So I'm gonna get those bolts tightened down, and we'll get the hub and the wheel back on. Okay, and we're ready for the hub. Absolutely grease up all those splines. You don't want that rusting and seizing up on you. You really don't. All right, this is our hub and nut. I'm gonna get that back on. And you really want an impact air wrench for these type of deals. So I'm gonna go fire up my generator, be able to charge up that air compressor. Okay, and we'll be right back and get this all sewed up. And our cotter key right there. There it is. That's exactly where I want to be. Okay, I had a mark right there on the hub, mark right there on the nut, so I want to be right where I was. Cotter key will lock that in there. Okay, and yeah, we're ready to put the wheel on, and this is a done deal. And there we go. Don't be fussy about bending them tabs exactly where you need. them to keep them out of the way of this cute little Artic Cat rubber hubcap. All right, just pop that back on. Obviously, we had a lot of room for that cotter key, so we didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, bend that cotter key down there just the way it needs to go. Done deal. Just set that wheel back on and we're ready to ride. Did I tell you I was a fanatic on surgically cleanliness, right? Okay. I'm gonna get some oil for them threads. There we are, all ready to go. Okay, start with your top nut there, and then you can see how I'm just easily and comfortably able to manipulate that with my feet and just lift the rim, keep all the tension off of there as I seat those lugs perfectly right there. I'll just work all of the slop out of there so that they seat perfectly. And I used my leftover oil that ran out the gearbox to coat those threads. Okay, and yes, this would be basically the same way that I do cars and pickups as well. There, those are all seated very nicely. A vehicle that's properly taken care of, there should never be any stuck or frozen parts or bolts or nuts or anything like that. There you go. Now I just got to torque them down with the wrench and we're basically done. It's about all you need on such a little tiny vehicle, right? That's about all you need. Give them a good feel all the way around. Just like that. Oh, pretty. All right. Okay then, let's go for a test ride, shall we? Might as well get her done, huh? Okay, that's what that shield is for. To keep all the grass and brush off of that seal. $14,102 miles on this little red four-wheeler. Pretty proud of this good old quad, right? Okay, at this point, it's really impossible to tell. Okay. Of course, we don't have any. There's no oil running out of the seal. For sure, if something was majorly wrong on the install, you know, I'd have a film of oil seeping out of there already. So we got it right for now. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm Dead Wolf. I'm out of here. So yeah, that's Little Red, my trusty horse there. All ready to put some blades on target. Okay. We'll have this kind of fun on the next one. Till then, take care, everyone. Dead Wolf out. Thanks for watching.